Is social media helpful or harmful? It is quite a pretty big hot topic in my world. Is social media helpful or harmful as a social media user? And the only way to watch this video is on social media. It's probably a bit more helpful in my case because I almost always use it to socialize or find out what my friends are doing, and I always make sure I get human connections in the end. Of course, I have a few online friends then and then, but obviously I always come back. However, social media can always be harmful as well too. As a result, we have several people going ahead and using them in non-great ways and very harmful ways towards other people and towards themselves, except they probably don't realize that they're doing it to themselves, and they probably want to harm other people intentionally. That's kind of the whole point of bullying someone. As a result, we have to do this debate. And as a social media user, mainly on these two channels, well, technically three, YouTube, Discord, and Reddit. I technically forgot how to draw the Reddit symbol. I go ahead and use all these three platforms equally well, and I have amassed a pretty good following in all of them. My Discord account, though, unfortunately, it got banned because I got falsely reported for drug trafficking on Discord, which I have never done. I'm a 14-year-old kid. How would I do drugs? We are like greater than 40% of the way to getting 1K subscribers on this channel. Hooray! I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do that sometime soon. And on Reddit, I have like a 516 post karma and like 137 comment karma amassed from over a year, which is quite good in my opinion because I only did a few posts. But let's get this going with: is social media helpful or harmful? Now, let's start off with the first point from the pros team. Now, they say that, hey, it helps people stay in touch with their friends and form new friendships. I've created a bunch of online friends and then I've realized I've met them in person several times. But I always make online friends after I made real friends. In fact, I think I have more real life friends than online friends. And now it's time for the first point of the cons team, is that it can cause people to spend less time forming authentic friendships in person. As a result, you don't really get that much of a big deal in some places. Is social media helpful or harmful? That's for you to decide. Oh, and one more thing I kind of have to mention here is that people can be bullied through social media. There is some kind of point towards bullying people on social media. And that is not always a great point too. And now it's time for the second point of the pros team. They say that it helps people understand different cultures that they have never seen before. In fact, I learn a lot through social media, mainly, of course, the social media video sharing platform, YouTube. Also, sometimes I do learn something on Reddit, and I always spend most of my entertainment time on either Reddit, YouTube, mostly YouTube, but I always go on Discord once in a while. And now it's time for the second point of the cons team, is that, well, people can be bullied through social media, and I mentioned that already previously, and this is a pretty big, huge problem. It's called cyberbullying, and you really, really need to figure it out. Alright, time for the third point of the pros team. It's that it lets people know about events that they can literally go to, and when you can literally go to some event, well, you realize that you can always join them, and that always makes you buy tickets. And now it's time for the third point of the cons team. And that is, like, the third point is, like, it isn't always safe to go ahead and be on social media. Sorry, my cat is bug hunting right now, and it's quite funny watching him doing that. Alright, so it isn't always safe. Like, social media, always you can, like, little kids especially cannot really understand that social media is not a place where you share for your own personal private stuff. I've already overdone that, but I'm okay with that because in the end, when I switch channels, everyone will forget that this channel ever exists because I'll never mention it until I'm famous. Now it's time for the fourth point of the pros team, is that, hey, it's used to raise awareness and money for good causes, and it always works out really fine. Is social media helpful or harmful though? Yes, it's helpful sometimes. Netflix literally used this to go ahead and air that they're doing something. Mr. Beast uses this to go ahead and air that he is doing competitions. Also, he is always doing those competitions for social media views and earning points. And other people go ahead and upload instant news on social media. They go ahead and leak out some news, such as the Ultraman Omega news or the Disney XD news. And yes, I'm really looking forward to Omega. The Omega Slugger. Hiya! Best new gen weapon ever. Now it's time for the fourth point of the cons team, is that, well, it can make people feel bad about themselves by comparing their life to others. And that's also unintentional cyberbullying. But that is all that I have for you today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope to see you guys soon. And by the way, because I really, really like social media as an avid social media user. But in the end, I'll see you guys soon. Until next time, 晚安 peace. Bye bye.